And we're live. What's up, everybody? This is Super Mike 2164. Press the like, press the share. I'm going to be very quick with you and everything. Shout out to my brother BMT. Shout out to the Black Brain Trust and the great brothers over there. And, sometimes when people have conversations about certain key topics, it gets real emotional. So you can hit a nerve. People hit nerves, especially on, things like politics, religion, um, philosophy. These are certain things that people can really hit nerves on. What's going on, guys? Make sure you guys press the thumbs up. This is gonna be pretty quick. Yeah. What's up, Leroy? Yeah. So I was over there at this group called the Black Brain Trust, and BMT was over there too. I seen BMT, so I stopped and listened in. And it's a brother Mike V. He had a Zoom call. They were doing some good. It was interesting. I disagree with a few things, but I'm a firm believer that just because we disagree on something, that's actually nothing. That's if I disagree on a certain issue with you, then we might have a little discussion on it. We might let the heat up just a little bit, but never go past a certain point. It's even in real life, just like when I woke up, excuse me, when I got to work this morning. So I drive about an hour. I get to work. It's still dark when I get there. And so when I get there, my lights are on in my car, right? So they're automatic. So it's a parking lot, big parking lot. I drive in. It's a lot of cars, so we're parking in a big gravel parking lot, basically. And they have the lines for the cars where you're supposed to park spray painted. It's almost like a big supermarket um, store, like if you was to go into Target, but it's instead of paved, it's gravel. So we go in there. I'm parked. And I turn the car off and, I'm getting ready to get my little jacket on and everything so I can go, go inside the facility. This is a refinery. And you have to take buses to get to a whole different location in the facility. So my automatic lights didn't shut off on my car yet. Brother comes up to me. He taps my window. I said, "Hey, what's up, man?" He's like, he asked me some weird question. Does Toyota make an automatic light shutting off thing, man? Because I'm like, oh, but you want me to shut my car off? Lights off? Okay, I'm sorry. But he said it in such a negative and slick way. I'm like, wait a minute, man. Just ask me. I'll shut the car off. I'll shut the lights off. He, huffing and puffing. I'm like, and then he wants to walk away now. I'm like, no, get over here. You come to me, so I'm now I'm hot. Anyway, some clicked in my head. Listen, just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And but people can hit a nerve because they mad. Now I find out that basically he's over there. I'm not even thinking about him. But he's over there in his car getting so angry because I didn't shut my lights off immediately when I parked. He comes over there and transfers his anger to me. So now the anger is is uh is dang on what you call that is it's like a disease. the negative the negative spirit gets transferred. So now I'm walking in the morning huffing, angry, pissed off because of this dude. And then some says, you know what? Nope, I'm not doing that. I had a good attitude, good spirit. I'm coming through good. Just because this dude, I mean, he could have just as easily come up and say, hey, but hey, man, which we all work together. Hey, man, could you shut your light off? Bro, thanks, man. I'm sorry. I'm in here. I was like, your lights, can you shut your light off? If he would say, I mean, simple, give me a chance to be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Give people a chance. Come people with respect. Try. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, I'm infected now. Exactly. We're negative. And guess what though? That infection can be cleaned up with positive. So you can decide to change it. It does take some irritating to get off that spirit, to get out of that mentality. But it, I did it. And what I did to clean it up is I told the guys, I told the other guys, and the guys was like, "Hey man, was it a guy in a green car?" I didn't see it because it was dark. He was like, "Yeah, yesterday the same thing happened to me." I was like, man, and that kind of actually by you expressing sometimes it does help you to, get rid of some of that negativity. But so, and it's just interesting. Like I said, I'm over there at this. Let me share this screen here. Hold on a second. I'm over there in this conversation, and I'm going to do something today because it did trigger me, but I try to redirect the energy into something a little bit more positive. So just to, like I said, get rid of some of the negative stuff, but at the same time, do something you know, a little bit more, you know, to put it in something positive, right? So, real quick, I want to go through a little bit of this and I'll show y'all what had me triggered. See, people who probably consider themselves what they call progressive, or they pick these good words and they'll slap it on them, and then everybody, yeah, exactly. This dude comes up on me because my lights on, and he, oh, man, instead of just saying, hey brother, can you shine the lights off? You blinded me in that car, man. And do it with a joyful attitude, or at least decent as respectful attitude, and give the other person, man, F you, I ain't turned you off, man. You know, then I can understand them having an attitude. But I didn't even have that attitude. I would have turned it right off. I wasn't even thinking about it. But but he, but the thing is, he's probably unhappy over something else, so he wants to spread that. But this I came in, and BMT ended up arguing with another brother, and I'm sure BMT will see this at some point, and then it turned from the point of the conversation to something else. they was hot at each other. They was hot, and yeah. So, and even though I actually, I don't know if I agreed with everything the other dude was saying, who was arguing with BMT, but it, I don't. I think that was something else, and I'm sure, I don't know if BMT might expand on it at some point, but then I end up later having a conversation with these fellas about this politics thing, and we put too much into this politics. We really put way too much. It is, look, this thing is, who, especially the president and them senators, we can't even afford to play in those games. We can't even afford to be worried about that stuff. And I believe that a lot of these people, I don't think everybody is, but a lot of these people, they're so concerned about us playing that game because they're being paid. So the Democrats are having a big problem right now. And people who consider themselves conservative, they're having a big problem. And they want folks to really participate in this system. And anything outside of that participation, even if you say, I'm not going to even do it, I'm not participating at all, not let alone just say, oh, I'm going to decide to vote for a Republican or something like that. And some of them would rather you do that. But, talking about independence or I'm not going to participate, oh, that gets these people hot, some of them. And then trying to have a conversation, it's like their whole strategy is if you disagree with them, they have to demean and insult. And that's probably, I think that's what made BMT angry. And BMT hit back at the other brother. And that just, that man snapped. That was crazy. And he was an older man. So people, anyway. But let me play some of this just real quick, just so y'all can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Let's listen to how these people talk. Now, he's talking about right at this moment, I think he's talking about, this is Mike V, he's a political analyst and all that thing. This is his, I'm just going to show, this is their channel, the Black Brain Trust. Y'all can go in there and look at this. Of course, it's not something that you're going to always agree with, but I respect people for having the conversation. I respect them, their brothers. Like I said, I do not expect to agree with people. I expect to disagree, but brothers having conversations. I always try to find the good. I always try to find the good in something, even if I disagree with it or may criticize points of it. It's not a anger at the person. I'm just critical at maybe this point or that point. And so I make sure I always try to keep it on the points, not the person, or the issue, not the person. Because I love the people. I love my people. I don't, just because I disagree with this issue or that issue, I'm not going to, it's just like my family. I'm not going to allow a disagreement to cause me to actually hate, my own people. You see what I'm saying? And I know some people ain't like that, but that, especially with my black people, even with the brother up there, that's the reason why I just let that go. I let him, because even though I was angry with him for approaching me like that, but I was just like, maybe he had a bad day, or never know. So that's just how I roll. So, but let's listen to a little bit of this. I want y'all to hear this. I'm not going to show it because I don't even want to take a chance on the whatever. He might try to knock my page or something. I don't know. I don't know. So hold on a second here. Go back to that. Oh man, I'm lost a spot.
To a large extent, and they're very extreme in the party. No, sound right. Well, yes, I'm gonna say real quick. What I meant to say with Mike Boyd, he said weak men appeal to fashion. I meant to. I should start it off with that. Now, you're right. You're right about that. You're right about that. Mike said that perfectly because Mike, you asked what's the point of
the guy's name is Mike V, so he's not talking about me.
Oh, that's what it is. Weak men. Trump got big balls. Remember that?
I don't think that black men really understand that there is no place for you over there. Every black man that has gone up, that if the number
change the system by them grabbing a lot of control of the
that victory. That makes absolutely no sense.
Well, man, you put it perfect, man. I mean, the thing is, Mike, is like what we said, man. I mean, you said it actually. It's appealing to fashion. Well, they lose 4% of the white vote.
What the local issues are really, and they're not involved.
Okay, so this is the part I do like. Let's listen to this here. I think this is the part that I was going on.
Discussion at all. It's just, to me, it's immaterial. If you're not supporting the candidates locally, at the ground level, it doesn't make any sense to talk about POTUS because POTUS is a long way up. And unfortunately, we don't support enough of local candidates who can actually make some serious impact. There's a lot of positions that elected positions that candidates can run on We talked about this years ago that the school board is the first place Black men should be at, which is where Gary Chambers cut his teeth.
That's
And
right.
yet folks didn't back Gary Chambers.
Well, the big problem, Mike, is, like I said, I saw Gary Chambers on earlier this week, talking about this restaurant and which has been a very positive for.
So for those who don't know, which is a lot of people, Gary Chambers, I believe he was somebody who was running for some office in Louisiana, and he was supposed to be projected to win or what have you because of the large Black vote. But a lot of Black folks just didn't show up. He's running as a Democrat. So a lot of people just didn't show up to support the Democrats, in which he is a Democrat. And for some reason, these guys saying it didn't make sense to them. So, this is kind of some of this particular part of the conversation we had. It was a big conversation, so there was a lot of points in here. But that's just, for people who didn't know.
In their community, but yet, you have the Caucasoids trying to literally shut them down. But when we speak about much of our politics locally, many of these people who are out here talking all this craziness, they don't know who their local political people are. They don't even know probably what the local issues are really, and they're not involved at all. They're not involved. That's the problem, and that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing all kind of bull crap, but then they'll go off and talk about the G20 or something else like that, some of the crapola, but will not know what the hell is going on right around in your town, right downtown, 4 or 5 miles from, your town council or so forth. They don't know, and they don't care. So that is our problem. And Gary Chambers was speaking about that last week with respect to this restaurant, whose name I forget currently. It's off the top of my head, but it's a Black Southern food, style restaurant that is doing very well and looking to be eliminated in the community. Black men own it, and they're trying to literally use the political methods.
Okay, so I think y'all got the little gist of it. These guys are complaining because I guess Gary Chambers, well, he may be good. I haven't researched him, but basically, people didn't support this guy, and he's talking about supporting some restaurant that some white people don't want in their neighborhood, and that's supposed to make, be a reason enough for Black folks to just wholeheartedly go out there and support the Democrats or something. I don't know what's in these guys' minds in that manner. And I know you'll see a little bit later, but what I was trying to communicate, it seems like these folks, they have this preoccupation with telling other people what they don't understand and what you don't seem to get. The process, the system doesn't work like that. You have to understand the system. You can't do that because the system says no. The system. And it's just like everything that we need to have happen, you can't do it. Because the system doesn't work like that. You have to vote. Okay, we vote. Okay, well, you didn't vote enough because you gotta have the money now. Wait a minute. It's like they continue to just move that goalpost back and forth, and they get everybody working like that. And this generation of people is just like, you know what? No. we not doing. We gonna watch football. We watching football. We're not worried about it. Because it's still homeless people outside. If somebody, wants to come and try to fight me or beat me up, I gotta solve that problem. if I need some money, otherwise I'll be outside homeless, I got to solve that problem. So, why should I be worried about going out there helping people who are not trying to help me solve my problems? They're creating more problems. When people are telling them, no, we don't want this, we don't want that, we don't want this, they do it anyway. You see? So, and then these particular guys want to talk down to folks, and then they say they're not talking down, but that's what they're doing. But let's look a little bit more. I want to fast forward just a little bit.
Politics that matters. That's why I said, arguing about the independent vote doesn't make any sense.
See, now this is what I was talking about. This guy's talking about he's mad because this politics doesn't matter. And these guys, they get angry because what they say matters actually matters. Just like you heard the other guy earlier, crapola. The stuff that people are saying to them is crapola. You don't understand how the system works. Talking independent candidates doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It's BS. Okay. And so I'm like, how, it's like everything is these people are the only ones that can tell you what matters and what's legitimate and what's not, and what you can say, what you can't say. And if you agree with them, it's okay. And if you don't know, they don't have the patience to educate you. Let's say you don't know and you're trying to ask them some questions. Now you're so dumb. You ask a question, you shouldn't be a part of the conversation. If you ask a question, that means you're stupid. So why did you even participate? You see? So, I mean, which, it's not something that surprises me, but it's just interesting to me. It's just really interesting. This is the mentality. Exactly. It's because of his party. His party is letting people down, and the people, that's right. But I want to listen to a little bit more, because this, to me, I'm trying to tell some people, when people go around trying to talk down to people just because they don't, I don't think you understand the system. The system doesn't work. Well, Black folks need to get the repair that we so justly deserve in the system that we so justly, built in an unjust manner, and we pay taxes into. So we need to get that money so that we can start to develop our own communities, just like everybody else develops their communities. See, yeah, or you're not asking the right. Well, the question is, well, no, I just asked you the question. Well, no, the real question is, it's like you get a bunch of word salad. So this is probably how Mark Davis sounds to me. Because, okay, so this is this Mike V. And like I said, I've heard Mike V talk on other subjects. He has this fidgety thing that he does, but I respect him, so I don't mind. But I'm going to criticize, but it's not that I hate the person or whatever.
We don't know, we don't care. The part that we don't care, but it's a Black Southern food, style restaurant that is doing very well and looking to be eliminated in the community. Owned Black male owned, Black owned, Black men owned.
First of all, the restaurant, it says it's a nice restaurant, but it's located in a majority white area. It's not in the Black area. And the white folks don't want the restaurant there. So, They don't want it. They're showing you how a community operates. They're gonna get rid of it because it's not a good restaurant. It's just that they don't own it. They don't know those people. They're black people. They don't want black people there. So they're gonna move to try to get rid of that restaurant. And they could boycott it, but you know, they're gonna do something political. That's just how they operate, and we know that. So this is what they're talking about, I think.
On it, and they're trying to literally use the political methods to now eliminate them once they have totally failed in the courts. So the courts do all that stuff out. Now they're trying to politically remove them, and it's possible that this can be done if people are not registered to come out and vote and to look at some of these proposals that they can be putting on, help to eliminate businesses like this and move them out of communities that they don't want them in. All right.
Let me ask a question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys could actually explore like deeper why, because you made such valid points about, us not knowing about even the local people right down the street. We don't know, we don't care. The part that we don't care, and I agree with you, that's not good. But, just like the Gary Chambers, the only thing I've heard that he, in Louisiana, he's a Democrat. The people hate Democrats right now.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily true for the last couple of election cycles. Remember, John Kennedy was a Democrat at one.
Yeah, I tried to let it go. God. See, and me, that's me, I'm talking, but just sitting there, on someone else's show, I had to sit there and just listen to trying. But the dude, he can't take any criticism of the Democrats. Oh no. You see? And see, so Gary Chambers wants points from black people for trying to save a black restaurant that decided to locate in a white neighborhood. These people are so disconnected that they actually think that he should get points for that. Wow. Anyway, but I'm gonna let the rest play here. Let's listen, because I have a little. I try to steer the conversation to just intellectual and I think that's what I do here. Here it's more about the point. That's why we can talk about different things, and Leroy, we got to do Jacob and Esau part 2. So be looking at your scriptures, get your studies. I'm actually, let me give you a little teaser since you're sitting there. I want you to look this up. I posted it on Facebook's hermeneutics. So hold on a second. Damn. Anyway. Oh yeah, I posted this too. The Bible is Black history. And I don't really, like I said, I don't, just because I post something, that don't mean I agree with every single thing in that thing, but there's piece. I look at things issue by issue. And so, yeah, because I was listening to some other stuff this dude put in. Yeah, the DFC, they worship this thing. But this here is another thing too. See, they trying to get their base back, and I'll show that'll come later. I don't have time to deal with that whole thing. But yeah, this look at this Mount Carmel church thing. The Bible is Black history. I posted it in the Facebook, Black is Not a Color group, and just get a chance to, look through this. Ugh. There's some good stuff in it, but the good stuff I like about it is they're going into how they interpret the word. So it's called hermeneutics. And don't just look at that video. Of course, look at other videos on hermeneutics. But that to me was a good one, but also, just some other stuff. But yeah, let's go off of that. But let's get back to this. Yeah, we gotta do that, and I gotta get BMT on too. So when we get a chance, we gotta do that Jacob and Esau thing, part 2. Dang. Woo. Yeah, we gotta read that whole thing. All right, so let's go back to this one. I just want y'all to listen to Mike V. Let him talk some more here. I hit him. I hit him in the Democrat. I hit him in the Democrat. You better be careful before I hit you in the Democrat.
On point, before he became a Republican.
He went back to JFK.
Downtown, 4 or 5.
This dude went to JFK on me.
And it's possible that this can be done if
people.
I've heard that in Louisiana, he's a Democrat. The people hate Democrats right now.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily true for the last couple election cycles. Remember, John Kennedy was a Democrat at one point before he became a Republican. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It's about a power grab for those folks over there. The same thing happened in North Carolina recently with a white woman who was a Democrat switched parties and became a Republican in that area to give the Republicans a supermajority. This is a part of the issue, is that a lot of Black people are not paying attention to the actual local politics that matters. That's why I said, arguing about the independent vote doesn't make any sense if you're not already participating in the system as it is. What do you, all this, that situation that happened on Art Newstall's panel didn't need to happen. Someone decided that they were going to take the gloves off.
The situation he's talking about is when BMT and BGS started arguing.
That's a problem. That's problematic.
Yeah, but I think that I won't say arguing. I do agree with you there. But the debate about the independent, I think that's valid, especially on the local level. There are independents who got in office and held office.
Yeah, but not at the POTUS.
Of course, not POTUS. Of course,
Yes.
That.
I mean,
talking about what folks in that local situation.
And you also have to understand. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just want my bad, Shauna, thank you for correcting me. I missed, my bad. Yeah, Daniel Corman's wife is not related to Mitch McConnell. He just was at the wedding. I have to retract that. Thank you, Shauna. Go ahead and come.
I just want to say this as well. You also have to understand in politics, and that's why we say, organizing and so forth is very important. There's a very large financial aspect to where politics is right now. And what they're trying to do is literally flood this game as a money game to buy just strictly dollars and move it away a little bit, move it away from just the average voter having that power in their hands. So you have those that you're saying it's independent. Yes, we have independent people and so forth, but the big part of that is who's also going to give them the big money to win. And that's a big part of the game that you must think about, or you may not have considered that at all, because you may not understand how the system works so well upon that. But you have to understand.
You see that? The system. You may not have considered that because you may not understand how the system, how the system works. The system. Dude, the system works by enslaving and stealing Black money and Black capital, Black work, Black ideas, and other people's ideas too. But it started off in stealing our ideas and our work. Okay. The system. This is crazy. This is what's so irritating about some of these people. You don't understand. Wow. Okay, you may not have considered that. That's fine. Maybe maybe he hit me in the pride. He hit me in my brain. He triggered me, huh? Okay. Let's listen some more.
And money is the mother's milk of politics. So the big parties play a huge role in that big money raise, especially when you start to look at the POTUS level of politics. Even moving into the Senate, or like in my district, my congressman, Bowman, that's a $5 million seat at least if you're going to try to run for Congress, and that's on the cheap.
That's such a key point, Nagone. That's such a key point.
So
the independents cannot raise enough money. So even if you do run independent, it doesn't fucking matter, man. That's the part that I'm trying to, we're trying to hammer this home, but these, folks don't seem to get this part. Where are your donors coming from if you don't have any party architecture?
Not going to accept that, and I'm going to push back just a little bit, and it's not to be just
they don't understand how that works.
But
go ahead.
And I believe what you're saying, but let me say this here.
Mhm.
I guess I
Can't hear him. I don't know
was
if he's breaking up.
I think he has bad reception. But the point that we're making here is that parties provide infrastructure. That's what the DNC provides. That's what the RNC provides.
People don't like to hear this, so you're putting, and that's fine if that's what you intend to do. But also, it blinds you to something as well. People don't want to hear it anymore. Okay, as far as the Democrat and the money thing. So
okay, so now I understand a little bit more too on the because I was breaking up when I was driving. So the main thing that I wanted to get across here is I was trying to let them know that if people don't understand something, it's not. If you want those people to start understanding and to actually trust you with educating them, you have to know how to speak to people in a way where they will listen to you and trust your judgment and learn from you. But when you continuously hammering about what they don't understand and you kind of what they didn't consider and you're dumb and these type of things coming out your mouth about the person or about that group of people, they're looking at you more in a hostile manner, so they're not going to trust you. So that's what I was trying to actually communicate that with them, but I noticed that I was breaking up, so that probably also frustrated them too. So that's I'll give them that.
Well.
I'm getting specific on what I'm talking about here. The money thing, the money point that you guys made, the money point.
Well,
the money is the fact. Okay, it's a fact. It's a fact. I know it's what you're going to probably say. It's a fact. It's just a reality of the system. The system.
Well,
okay.
Well, explain to me, citizens. Explain to me, Citizens United. Explain to me, Citizens United.
And that's off-putting. It's combative, but I understand where you're getting at. Let's go. Go ahead.
Dude, I don't know what I'm confused.
Because I'm actually trying to be honest, a sincere conversation.
No. I'm asking you. I'm asking you
to insult you. Okay.
I'm asking you a very serious question. Very serious question.
Okay.
What about Citizens United?
Okay. Now, Citizens United. Make sure that I understand what you're talking about. It's a political action committee, right? They can also, it's a law or something like that where people can donate or companies can donate unlimited amounts, right, to candidates. Is that something am I getting close to that, or do you need to explain more detail to me about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically.
No. Go ahead. Continue.
Is that, did I get that correct? Because I want to have a sincere conversation, so I want to make sure that I'm understanding.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's basically.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the thing is, that was a controversy when that first, I believe, when that first was about to get decided upon. And the reason why it was a controversy because people knew that where it would head it. That puts the oligarchs in control. And this is why when you guys are saying this is how the system works, people are not wanting it. They want something different. And so when you keep trying to force something, they're going to fight that. And that's why people are checking out of the system, as you say. So just another reason. So if independence, people are going for that. They're going to try it. It might not work. Okay. But if you want to keep forcing something down their mouths, which is in control by people who, because if you buy a politician, they're not going to be responsive to the people. They're going to be responsive to the person who bought them.
How many votes did
I don't know. I'm just
you
right
don't
now,
know?
I don't.
So now I said that, and he gonna respond to me with some weird question, with some weird trivia question. How many votes did the sub? I'm like, listen, man, don't look. You gonna give me a trivia question after I made a statement? That is not even a sincere conversation. And so that's not, I don't know, but maybe they were that's probably what they wanted to do, be combative. I don't know. But my thing is, so that was the gist of that conversation. Like I said, guys, you could, I had an earlier discussion with them on some other little points, and I guess it's a 2-hour conversation. I just tapped in it a couple times, and I did disconnect because they were getting kind of stupid. So I felt like they were getting stupid to me. But of course, everybody doesn't agree with that. So I will put their video in the description there. So if you want to click into it, it's entertaining. It was good. It was good brain food to look through. But it did trigger me because we were talking about how independence is. He's basically saying independence is stupid. It's stupid to talk independent and all that kind of thing. And just you're not paying attention, just like a teacher or something. Yeah. So I wanted to go and find out, there was a lot of little issues in that conversation. But, one issue was that we have a two-party system. And no one besides the Democrat, you have to pick a side. You must pick a side. You have a two-party system. So what I did is I just wanted to let everybody know. I just wanted to show. Now, I know they're talking about modern time, but I just wanted to show that the system is not actually, there's no law that says it's only going to be two parties. This is something that is enforced, okay? And I just want to go through the different parties that have actually held the presidential office. The first president was an independent. So George Washington. What is George Washington's party? And this is coming from Data Blog, Facts Are Sacred, The Guardian. Okay, so this is where this is coming from. I just want people to see it, just documenting, actually, I don't have it, so you can't see. Union Party. Yeah, I just want to document this because sometimes people, they sound so good and they are smart in a lot of stuff. And a lot of times they can slip in a non-fact and get people to believe it because they say so many other things that are true. But when they keep saying there's the two-party system, basically they're telling you that you have no other choice. You must do this. Here are your options. And basically that's like saying you can go in the cage with the lion who's hungry and wants to eat you. You can go in a cage with the bear who is hungry and wants to kill you or eat you. You choose. And then somebody says, well, I'm not going to move. No, you have a two-door system. You have a two-door system. Well, who's going to make me go into either one of those doors? Well, you have to. You have to. Why? 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 Why are you going to even worry about that? You know what I'm saying? Really? Because whenever these people mess up, you're going to have to fix in your own life anyway. They're going to mess up something. They're going to mess up the gas. What? Well, at least you have a chance to pick. Okay, you can pick in your local level. When you find people, I'm not saying don't vote. So in your local area, maybe in Senate or whatever, or the state Senate, or even school board or church or something like that, it's about people solving problems. That's all I'm worried about. Who's going to solve some of these problems? Help solve some of the problems. Make it easier to solve the problems. Just voting on some kind of party loyalty like it's some kind of religion. You have to pick. You have to pick. You know, then they come up with all these reasons why you have to pick. You don't have to do nothing. So this is the president. So George Washington, what party do we see here? Party. None. He was an independent. The second president, John Adams, George Washington was the president for 8 years. Second president was John Adams. He was a Federalist. So that's not a Democrat nor a Republican. That's another party, a Federalist. Let's look at it. Look that up. We're not going to go through the whole thing, but the Federalist Party, it was the actual party. It held the presidency and did some other stuff. These are some of the histories of the Federalists. President George Washington in consultation with members of his first cabinet. Okay. Secretary of State Thomas Jefferson, Secretary of Treasury. The Federalist Party originated in opposition to the Democrat-Republican Party in America during President George Washington's first administration, known for their support of a strong national government. The Federalists emphasized commercial and diplomatic harmony. See, business and diplomatic harmony with Britain following the signing of the 1797 Jay Treaty. The party split over negotiations with France during President John Adams' administration. So that's the next president. And they split. Though it remained a political force until its members passed into the Democrat and the Whig parties in the 1820s. So the Federalists passed into the Democrat and the Whig party. Okay, the Whigs are a whole nother party, not Democrat or Republican. So just so we know that, let's look some more. Let's go back. So the Federalist was John Adams. Thomas Jefferson, the big famous president, he was the president for 8 years. He was part of the Democrat-Republican. Did you know that the Democrat-Republican Party was the same thing? It's a party, Democrat-Republican. That's how they started. Both were the same party, Uni Party. You got that before it was a question, Leroy. You got that before it was a question. Uni Party. Yeah. So the Democrat-Republican Party. Thomas Jefferson was a Democrat-Republican. James Madison was a Democrat-Republican. James. So this when it was, their system really was two-party. They was the same party. James Monroe, Quincy Adams. These are all slaveholders, Democrat, Republican. John Quincy Adams, 1828. That's when, excuse me, that's when it must have split up then. So let's look into that real quick. We're going to look into each one of them. The Democrat-Republican Party. Democrat-Republican Party, first opposition political party in the United States organized. So this was the first opposition political party in the United States, organized in 1792 as the Republican Party. Its members held powers nationally between 1801 and 1825. It was a direct antecedent of the present Democrat Party. Okay, so the Democrat-Republican Party was an antecedent to the Democrat Party. During the two administrations of President George Washington, many former anti-federalists who had resisted adoption of the new federal constitution, so these people didn't even like the Constitution, began to unite in opposition to the fiscal program of Alexander Hamilton, Secretary of Treasury. After Hamilton and other proponents of a strong central government and a loose interpretation of the Constitution formed the Federalist Party in 1791, those who favored states' rights and a strict interpretation of the Constitution rallied under the leadership of Thomas Jefferson, who had served, which was a rapist of children, of young women, slaves, and kept them in basements and stuff, and had a bunch of kids by him and stuff. So who favored states' rights and strict interpretation of Constitution. Thomas Jefferson, who had served as Washington's first Secretary of State. Jefferson's supporters, deeply influenced by the ideas of the French Revolution, first adopted the name Republican to emphasize their anti-monarchical views. The Republicans contended that the Federalists harbored aristocratic attitudes and that their policies placed too much power in the central government intended to benefit the affluent at the expense of the common man. So the Republicans were supposedly more like what they claim the Democrats are now, supposedly the common people, whatever. So anyway, y'all can read that. That's Encyclopedia Britannica. Let's go back to here. Let's read all these presidents. All right, so we had the Democrat-Republican Party. Now, Andrew Jackson, who's a murderer, and he's the one who did the Trail of Tears. He was the president for 2, 4, 6, 8 years. He was a straight Democrat. This is the man who ran the Trail of Tears, who walked the Native American and Black people and took the state of Florida, walked you across Oklahoma, the country to Oklahoma out of your homeland. That's Andrew Jackson. He's on the $20 bill. Martin Van Buren's a Democrat. William Henry Harrison. He was the president for 1 year. Maybe he got killed. We probably need to learn the history on him. He was a Whig. Whig Party. It's a different party. Who was the president? So, and the reason why I'm doing this is because this conversation came up in that debate or that discussion over there. So the Whig Party is a historical American party, and this was in when was the Whigs took power? 1841 to 1844. All right, let's look at the Whigs. So in U.S. history, the major party active in the period of 1834 to 1854 that espoused a program of national development, but foundered on the rising tide of sectional antagonism. The Whig Party was formed, organized in 1834, bringing together a loose coalition of groups united in their opposition to what party members viewed as the executive tyranny of King Andrew Jackson. So they formed in opposition to Andrew Jackson. They borrowed the name Whig from the British party opposed to royal prerogatives. So that's the Whig Party. Y'all can read the history on that. That's from Encyclopedia Britannica. Let's go through this. And the Democrats was after that, 1845. Then the Whigs got back in after James Polk. So the Whigs, interesting. The Whigs seemed to win 1 year with one person, and then they immediately changed to somebody else to finish off the rest of the term. They did that here. William Henry Harrison won, and then John Tyler finished out four more years. Then Zachary Taylor won, and then Marlin Fillmore finished out 3 more years of the Whig term. Interesting. So that happened. The Democrats got back in. And this is right here. Franklin Pierce, 1852. We're getting up to this into slavery near James Buchanan, Democrats. This is when Justice Taney said that, you know, nobody is bound to respect any laws, don't have to respect black people. In 1857, James Buchanan was the president. He was a Democrat. The Republicans first come in with Abraham Lincoln. So Abraham Lincoln is the first Republican president. So that was the war, right? Right there. He was the president. Then the war was in 1863 because they was trying to leave the South, right? The South was trying to secede from the Union. Yeah. So this is the history. So the Republicans come in, and who actually, decides to give the black man a chance to fight for his actual freedom, even though he didn't really care, Abraham Lincoln says, but he did because he wanted to preserve the Union. It was Abraham Lincoln. And guess who? And after Abraham Lincoln got shot dead, Andrew Jackson was the National Union Party, which is another party. After this National Union thing, that's it, 2-party system. So the National Union Party, National Union Party was the temporary name used by the Republican Party and elements of other parties for the national ticket in 1864 presidential election that was held during the Civil War. So during the Civil War, they called it the National Union Party. That was the Republican Party too. And so there we go. And it says, and it was the party nominated the incumbent Republican president Abraham Lincoln of Illinois with the lifelong Democrat Andrew Johnson of Tennessee, who actually stole our reparations money and land. So this National Union Party should be studied way more by black people, because this is the time when you actually had a Republican as the president who had one set of values, and that was stupid. That's why Abraham Lincoln got shot now. Now I see. This is stupid. Wow, it's good to look at this stuff. This man, the Republican was the top of the ticket president. He had, officiated the war, won the war, okay, And to show unity, they did this. They changed the name of the party to National Union Party, and they put as top of the ticket president, Republican, who literally fought, bled, and died, won the war. And then you put the vice president, who has no power. Okay, you put them a lifelong Democrat, which is the opposing side. So if the president dies, who's the president now? So that's why Abraham Lincoln, man, come on. Anyway, that's the National Union Party. The things you learn. And once that happened, Andrew Johnson finished that out as National Union. And he, of course, he stole all our money with all that stuff he did. Then, of course, another guy who officiated and fought the war. The Republicans win for a long time, up until 1884. Then it's Democrats. Then it's Republicans. Then it's Democrats. Then it's Republicans. Then it's Democrats. Then it's Republicans. And notice the Republicans, then it's Democrats. They went along Truman. Then it's Republicans. Instead, now that's when you start to get the two-party system after the Civil War. After the Civil War, you got a two-party system. That's it. They don't have Trump and Biden on here because this one's old. But there you go. So, two-party system, not really, but it is. They make it that way because they've invested so much in it. They forced it true, but it's not. They say it's functionally true, but basically they are the same people. So you're right again, Unity Party. They have the same agenda. It is what it is. So the thing is, as far as solving our problems, we can petition the system because we put into it, but we shouldn't be actually be fighting each other because we actually have more influence in each other's. We have more ability to help each other solve problems than some of these big Congress people or what have you. So that's all I mainly wanted to kind of put that through there. Some people get so anxious on this stuff, this political stuff, and like also I want to do this too. Like I said, I'm gonna do we want to try to get another part 2 on the Jacob Esau conversation, which is a religious thing. But I wanted to get into the hermeneutics, which is the interpretations, how they interpret this stuff. Yeah. 1948, but it looks more like it was not 18. It was more like 1864, that National Union Party. That's when they crystallized that uni thing. That's what it seemed like to me. But but this has a little tie into the I'm seeing something because that these people, Biden's black support, ABC, news. Why Biden is losing support from people of color. First off, people of color. That's an insult at this point. We are black people. Okay. That's what we are. Now, I know you got Moors out there. You got Hebrew Israelites, people who say so-called black and all this stuff. Black is not a color. Let's be honest here. In this society, you're dealing with, they use racial categories to, they call them color. They use the same words for racial categories as they use for colors. But that doesn't mean the racial category is a color. It's just that they're using the same word.
So don't let that trick you. That's part of the hermeneutics. They use that stuff. Yeah. So the thing is, this black people, who really is the original people on the planet. That's what the black people are. And, you know, that's who we are. We're descended from those folks, those original people. Okay. And that's who we are. But, you know, we learned enough at this point that we decide to not at least support these whole people and this whole party. And so they're having problems. And a lot of it's happening is because the baby boomers from the black church that benefited during this time of presidency. So notice here, when Abraham Lincoln became Republican, all the black folks was Republicans. All of these Republicans, black folks helped them. The Democrat was the party of slavery at that time. They were the hostile to black people. Okay, at this point here, when Lyndon B. Johnson, who was a Democrat in 1965, 1964, black folks way from the 40s, 50s, and was fighting to try to do, you know, more equality and things like that. We were sick of the lynchings. We were sick of the mob violence and all the stuff like that. And black folks start turning up in all the cities and all this, you know, pushing. When they had all those riots, they had to calm those riots down, especially the ones in 1967. So they had to calm them down. And so they did the civil rights bill. They succumbed to the black folks. And that made black people happy. So black people moved from the Republican Party and supported Lyndon Johnson, the Democrats. And then Richard Nixon came in there all mean, and, you know, he wasn't right. And so, hold on. They missing are they missing Kennedy? They missing Kennedy. What kind of stupid place is this? Oh no, John F. Kennedy. He was only president for 2 years, really? Okay, I didn't know that. He got killed. He was a Democrat. They loved Kennedy. You know, Johnson. You know, so anyway, they loved Kennedy, loved Johnson. So since then, from then on, black folks was Democrats, and since so many black people was Democrats, the white people just transferred to the Republicans mostly. Those same racist, slave-minded types. Okay, so that's what it is. There's another transfer happening right now, but you know, that's what's going on there. Yeah, but what it is in the church, the black church, those baby boomers are passing away. And so, you know, the younger people ain't with the stupid lies that was told to the parents. So they're not voting Democrat like that. So I think there's a movement here to try to get a little bit more, the church to be a little more radical. This is stuff this man is preaching in the church, some stuff that they're making. They're sanitizing some stuff that they used to consider radical, saying the Bible is blackhistory.com. So that's kind of radical, and he puts a lot of truth in there. But some of the language that they say in here, you know, the LGBT stuff and the womanist stuff, and
sorority organizations.
yeah, we don't have time to go through the whole thing right now, but I think if they can attract some people back with some of this truth, with this radical, some of it. And if they can get you back in that church on this kind of stuff, then they can probably get you back voting like they want you to, you know. So then they probably have another generation of that. I think that's what they're looking for.
But like I said, guys, this is just a little, and just to end this off, the system, this we can. My argument to these people who say the system doesn't work like this, you don't understand the system. Oh, you have to look how the system works. Listen. The system, we have influence over this system, and as long as we continue to operate as the system wants us to operate, we're going to continue to lose as the system wants us to lose. And the thing is, we can unplug from most of the system. We're going to use what we use, but as far as begging them for something, anything, they're going to just keep creating problems from us that we're going to have to continue to solve. But when they need us to solve their problems, I think we should just step back. I think we should just step back. And these rabid, nutty type of folks who really believe that now, like I said, this does not include, to me, if you find a local candidate that's solving your problems, if you want to run yourself and you're going to, stand up to something, let's say a police chief or whatever it is, if you think you can do some good, you can control a budget and you got enough people around you that will, help you set that thing up right, where you can actually get something done, do it. If you got the population with you and you can control, the water, go ahead, control the water, control the electrical board, and sit on some of those boards in your local area. That's politics. But as far as these senators and these presidents and stuff, these people, if they get out of line, they're dead. If they get out of line too much and start bucking their system at that level, they won't survive. You can't get to that level, no United States senator. I mean, you might be able to get up in the Congress because there's so many of them, and they can all, they can replace them easier. But you ain't getting into no Senate, no presidency without being thoroughly checked and tested as a lapdog for the corporate interest, i.e. Hollywood, i.e. the U.S. liberty attackers. Look up the U.S. liberty and see who attacked the U.S. liberty, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think. Share this message. Make sure you guys press the thumbs up and like button, and just let me know what you think about it. Do you think that we are slaves to the system, or can we can we survive without the system? Can we solve problems if the system doesn't see fit to solve our problems the way we want them to solve it? Do we have a system that we can have a little bit more influence and control over? Or we just have to pick? We have to pick a side. We have to go through that lion door or the hungry bear door. All right. Peace.